Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Wheel to Wheel. Today's episode, we're gonna get into some NASCAR. We're gonna get into IndyCar, F1, and whatever else we actually thought about. But first, I want to recap about what we missed last week, being NASCAR over at
Darlington.
Arlington, Sebring, 12 hours of Sebring, and then NLS2, in which, unfortunately, not unfortunately in this instance, Max Verstappen, Jules Gounon, and Danny Juncadella did win at the line by over a minute in a brilliant race. Unfortunately, the car did suffer a penalty in which they had too many tire sets used throughout the weekend, causing them to be disqualified and giving the win to the 99 row BMW with Dan Harper and they were talking about Dan Harper so much I forgot the second driver. But that's what happened over at NLS. Hopefully we can see him at the qualifiers this upcoming month with the break that they're going to have. He's not going to be at NLS 3. They're not going to be at NLS 3 because that car is going to be at GT World Challenge Europe for the season opener over in France at Paul Ricard. Big endurance race there to start the season. Then in Sebring, we had Porsche dominance in every single class except for GTD. And not even because GTD, Wright Motorsports, I believe, did get the last spot on the podium in GTD. We had a brilliant race at the end, especially for GTD, in which Antonio Fuoco made a last-minute move on Tom Gamble in the part of racing Aston Martin to get the 21 AF Corsa Ferrari to the top step of the podium. And also, Lilo Wadu in that car too. So, great win for them. In GTD Pro, it was Porsche domination. 1-2 for Porsche. Grello getting his first win over here in North America with Roxy Pink. I know Porsche getting P2. Big race for those two programs and a much needed win for Porsche over in GTD Pro and the IMSA side. In LMP2, it was once again team domination. You're seeing a pattern over in IMSA. United Autosports getting the win over in LMP2. It's a 1-2 for them. Great race for them in LMP2 at Sebring. Great result, getting them a lot of championship points. And then finally, GTP Porsche. If you couldn't tell what was going to happen there. Porsche getting the win. Felipe Nasser having himself a brilliant final stint to beat Kevin Estre and, well, nobody else, because it was Kevin Estre, the only guy that had a chance, establishing himself as, well, arguably the best driver in Penske's roster and one of the best drivers in Porsche's roster. And then lit last at Darlington, Tyler Reddick. Correct. Tyler Reddick did win that race, just continuing the dominance for himself in 2311. And to move on to NASCAR, and that's really all we missed last weekend. But let's get started with this weekend with some more NASCAR and Chase Elliott's win over here at Martinsville. How was the race for y'all?
I thought this was a very good Martinsville race. Martinsville usually has a knack for putting on a good race. I'm a sucker for short track racing. And I felt like the tire fall off here, especially when you add the extra horsepower. Again, great idea, add the extra horsepower. But I was a little worried that this was going to turn out to be a pretty boring race, because about 20 laps in, I was like, Denny Hamlin's got this. He's got in the bag. Fastest driver, just pulling ahead of William Byron, who started on the front row alongside him. And I thought he was going to pull away. Won the first two stages. Yeah, he had almost 300 laps out of the 400.
292 laps. I'd say you're pretty right on that.
Almost
think he's going to win.
Almost 3/4 of the race. I felt that pretty early on. He was just able to keep his tires going. Chase Elliott, Alan Guffinson made a very big gamble. Again, not something you see a whole lot of. Guffinson a whole lot recently, but made a gamble, pitted early, essentially tried to turn it into a 2 stops for the second stage, and panned out fantastic for them. Got a caution. Justice Denny Hamlin got past him, so he got a free stop out that. Started on the second row behind Chastain, who didn't pit, and Hamlin. Had a great run, got past, and the rest was history. So, great race for Chase Elliott, great race for Denny Hamlin, who walks away with the most points all weekend. Even if he didn't win, still gets 56 points. I would say that's a pretty hefty haul. Wouldn't you say, Derek?
Yeah, I mean, that's just a good weekend for him. I believe that got him up to third in points.
I believe he is. I think he's. Yep. Moved up a spot to third in points now. He has 259 points on the season, which is only about 12 points behind Ryan Blaney, who also moved up a spot in the standings.
Is only about 80-something points off of Reddick, so
Yeah.
catching up.
Yeah. Catching up.
Catching up.
Catching up. 82,
Slowly but surely.
82 points behind Tyler Reddick. And again, this is just how crucial a win is. I mean, Elliott was kind of in contention for some of these stage points and whatnot. Now, the win boosts him a lot. But again, he won the race, but he's not the biggest beneficiary from this race. It's actually Denny Hamlin. And again, this format, I think, is doing great things. Hey, we're rewarding who's running the best during the race. Not yes, winning the race means a lot, but it's not the end of the world if you get a bunch of stage points and you don't win. So, good result from the 9 team, good result from the 11 team. Tyler Reddick, who's coming off a very hot streak, didn't have exactly the best of races. I'm pretty sure he ended up all the way down in
15th.
15th.
Or he
No,
qualified.
15th. He qualified 15th.
No.
But the race, he ended up, let me get the result.
In 15th. In 15th.
And 15th.
He did.
You sure? You sure
Yes. Yes. 100%.
he did? That's crazy.
Bubba qualified 15th. Reddick qualified 8th, but he finished in 15th.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just flipping. I'm flipping 2 tabs, but yeah, and only 28 points.
Bubba.
Only 28 points. So, but having a big cushion for him obviously helps a lot. I mean, a good chunk of the field got lapped. So this was just the guys up front dominated all day, and not really much Reddick could do. But Bubba does wreck himself out, essentially, after a weird episode with Hocevar, and he comes tumbling down the order.
He goes from 2nd to 9th in the standings. I didn't get to see. I only saw the pile up. I didn't even get to see what actually happened.
Actually, Bubba's in 11th in the standings now.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
So he lost 9. He lost 9 spots.
So about that, Bubba, I think the onboard kind of shows a somewhat different story. At least with the second bump. I think the first bump was frustration with Hocevar, which, like, I think half the field's frustrated with Hocevar. But the second one, it's just really unfortunate. He gets like a good closing speed on them right as they stack up. So it's just like the really unfortunate accordion effect. And it looks really bad that he just kind of pile drove him earlier in the corner.
Yeah. I mean, that was
I don't think it was bad.
That was, yeah, definitely the initial thought is that he was just out for blood. Now, again, the first bump, definitely with frustration, but I think he covered that pretty well. He ended up finishing 36, got 1 point. It's not good.
8 point.
Got 8 points. But the person that he was trying to go after, Carson Hocevar, ends up 17th. It's a 20-point haul there. So maybe not the way to exercise frustration that you might think.
Yeah, but
I got a couple of people I want to give a quick shout out for this race, though. I want to give a shout out to Shane Van Gisbergen. Okay? I think he's earned this. Was in contention in really all three stages. Started off, up high. He started the race, I think,
P5.
P5. Yep.
Qualified P5.
P5, yep. Had a really good run. Again, I think there's a little bit of racecraft that he needs to work on these ovals, on these short tracks. But hey, on a track where it awards you managing your tires, on a track where you gotta hit your marks every lap, nobody really does it better than him. Obviously, I don't think he had set up to ever contend for a top 5, but 11th place, that's a pretty dang good result for that team.
34 points. Really good.
they got 8 stage points, which I think for SCG, getting stage points is always huge. Because he's not expected to run this well on the ovals, so anytime he does and can bank some of those stage points, to where even if something goes wrong in the end result, he still has some points to fall back on.
So, absolutely. Another person I want to give another shout out to, Josh Berry, started on the second row, finishes 10th place. Good run by Josh. Again, don't know if he had the setup to ever really compete with the big dogs, but again, comes away with a great point haul, 36 points for him. So, good job by the Wood Brothers team, getting Josh a nice little ride this weekend.
Ford in general, actually, because Logano started 9th, got P3. Cindric started 6th, finished 8th, stayed where he needed to stay. Ryan Blaney starting 12th, getting P6. Ryan Preece starting 17th, getting 12th. They had themselves a good weekend. This is a much needed weekend for Ford in general, because they haven't really showed anything.
Yeah.
Much of anything outside of the one Ryan Blaney win.
Yeah, I still think as a team that Penske and I guess as an extension Wood Brothers, Martinsville and Phoenix, they're just so strong at those tracks. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, this is still Ford's wheelhouse. Like, you don't come away with a win this weekend, but this Toyota car is just so overpowered. And then, Elliott just had a very good strategy decision, and you can't win them all. But Logano had a really nice run. Cindric gets back to the top 10. Good run by him, as you mentioned. I remember you mentioned, Derek, that when we last talked, even though we kind of messed up the recording on that one, you said this was a get-right race for Hendrick.
I'd say they got pretty right today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Obviously, two cars in the top 5. Got Will Byron in 5th place and Kyle Larson 9th. And obviously, stuff to work on with Justin Allgaier. But 22nd is better than I would have thought at the start of this weekend.
Yeah. So you did bring up Austin Cindric, and I think it's important to remember how bad at the start of the season he had, right? Crashed at Daytona, crashed at Atlanta. I don't remember what happened in Coda. I know I don't think he had a great weekend. It's the NASCAR app has him as moving 12 positions up in the standings this week.
Huge.
40 points does that.
He's one of the guys I had before the season as, hey, this is a wild card guy. He's not guaranteed to be in the playoffs. He needs these good results. So to get back in it after the terrible start he had on the plates, that's a good look for that whole team.
Yeah.
Logano also P3. Penske, they got the short ovals figured out.
They got
those short, flat ovals. That's just what they're going to rely on to really set themselves up to be in a good spot for the playoffs or the chase.
Yeah, it's the playoffs.
Well, it's still the playoffs. It's just new name, new format.
Just a little bit.
I hope it does run better.
Another guy in the top 5 I want to give a quick talk about. So Ty Gibbs still does not have a win in this Cup Series career. And I am not a Ty Gibbs fan at all. But it's hard not to look at these past couple of results that Ty Gibbs has had and think that he might be a threat in this championship, even if he hasn't won a race yet.
I'm not sure about the championship, but I do think next week he's always ran really well at these first races. It's just the execution later in the race has never really been there. Particularly in these ones where the tire wear is pretty big. I remember last fall he kind of flubbed his pit entry and got pile driven by Austin Hill. The other really huge tire wear race would have been 24 spring. He was probably the best car, but he didn't take care of the tires as well as like a Truex or a Hamlin did, which I kind of expect. That's like Bristol is a real opportunity for him, and he really needs to take advantage of that if he wants to get a win this year.
Absolutely.
Well, I have to agree with Jack in terms of championship because he's 6th in the standings without a win. He's 6th in the standings. He's the 3rd best Toyota, and he's in a front-running car. So to say he's say he's not in the fight would be like, yeah, it's early in the season, and you got to see more from him later in the season, especially. But he's there. He's as of right now, he's very clearly there.
Look, if he keeps putting in these top 5 performances, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, and again, I'm not a fan of Ty Gibbs at all. Absolutely don't really like him, but it's hard not to look at the results. I mean, they kind of speak for themselves, and yeah, it helps Toyota has a absolute freaking beast on the track. Just it's good everywhere, but I mean, it's something.
I'd say with this new format, consistency is key, and in a series and where one race you could have all your front runners crash out, as we saw in like Daytona. Everyone crashed out at that race, and at the super speedway races, as long as he stays clean, he's gonna get a good result, and that could make you a real contender. It's just being the guy in the top, being one of the front runners to consistently finish well.
I'll throw a couple of stats out there real quick. I'll throw 2 stats out there. Okay, there is one other driver that has. So okay, Tyler Reddick has 4 wins. So of course he has 4 top 5s, right? There's only one driver that has as many top 5 finishes as Tyler Reddick.
Ty Gibbs.
It's Ty Gibbs. Okay? And then there's 3 drivers that have 5 top 10s, which is the most top 10s. It's Tyler Reddick, obviously. Ryan Blaney, no shockers there. Ty Gibbs. So if we're talking about
Pattern.
So it's kind of nuts. I mean, he's only led 18 laps, but finds himself in the right spot at the end of the races.
Only 1 DNF.
Huge. Keeping that number as low as you possibly can is going to be humongous. Especially now that you're rewarded for not crashing out. I mean, just Bubba Wallace. We saw what happened with 1 DNF. You can't have that. You can't have too many of those.
No, I'm good.
2nd to 11th. And oh my gosh, if you read it a certain way, I'm not gonna say it, but you can tell. You can see the numbers.
Okay, Haas.
All right. So going into next weekend, which is
So there's no race next weekend. Actually,
There
well, I
isn't?
lied. There's 2 races next weekend. Neither of them are Cup.
Yeah, it's the trucks and O'Reilly.
Yep, we go to the Rock.
One of those old tracks.
Well,
Last time I think it was 04.
oh my gosh,
Had
I love the Rock, man. Like I will be tuning in for these races for sure, and hope we can talk about them a little bit on our show because I freaking love how trucks and O-Raps race on this track. It's unbelievable. It's some of the best racing out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just these funky tracks, you love them.
Gotta love them. Gotta love
Oh yeah,
'em.
speaking of funky tracks, I guess we could make a shout out for ARCA at Hickory. I saw a clip. Hickory, yo, they was racing. It was really racing there, dog. They was bumping the entire fucking time. And I really want to give one, like, I have a reason to switch to this, and that's because Destiny Spurlock, she was catching a lot of, let's just face it, unreasonable heat for the announcement of her getting into this ARCA race, and then she shows up, gets 7th on her debut, finishing on the lead lap. What did I say? Last weekend I mentioned her like, hey, she's gonna make her debut, and she's not gonna just be there. She's gonna be fast, and she showed up, and she showed something. And though I'm not very familiar about ARCA, someone in the chat and the Horsepower channel did tell me that the equipment she was running and the car she was running is not one of the front runners. It's not one of the big teams. MBM. Because I know it's Garage 56 and Cup. 66, Garage 66 and Cup. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
So
ARCA's just
makes it even more impressive.
Yeah. ARCA is a very equipment intensive series. So if you don't have the best equipment, it's hard to run up front. Finishing 7th in a car like that is nothing short of incredible. So great for her. Awesome result. Love seeing that.
Women represent, baby. I hope this. I really do hope this inspires more people, inspire more women of color, and just women in general, and other women in motorsports. Hopefully, maybe. Who knows? Who knows what happens from here? But if anything, from the way you speak of it, and an equipment heavy or equipment dependent series like that, she's able to do that and not best of equipment. What can she do with real top level equipment? So coming from a drag racing background, immediately showing real pace on a very chaotic looking short track. I could tell that from just one clip. That says a lot to stay out of that type of chaos and to stay into the lead lap, run up front. I'm happy. I hope to see more of her. I hope to see where she goes from here, and maybe she gets into Park. Maybe she gets into O'Reilly. Maybe this ends up with a Cup seat. Who knows? I'm rooting for her.
Absolutely. All right. So, race that happened before NASCAR Cup Series race, we had the IndyCar Series today. Guess who went to the race and got a little
That
sunburn?
man right there.
He went.
Guy redder than a
Oh my gosh, man. You sat right before the back stretch, right?
I moved around the entire race.
Okay.
Did you ever go on a bridge?
I tried to find a way to get on the bridge. I couldn't find it, and it was also quite packed. That's something I'm gonna try next time.
You could tell from the freaking broadcast, everybody was on that bitch. Everyone was on that.
So, where is the best viewing spot for the race, in your opinion?
The ones I was seeing, there's the spot kind of midway on the backstretch where you can see the hairpin really well. there's a screen right in front of you, and you can obviously see the backstretch. And you can also somewhat see the cars going by on the front stretch. I think that's the best spot to sit at Barber. But I sat so I could see turn 1 and turn 2 on the start. Sat there for like 20 laps. And it was kind of normal. Like, nothing major happened. You could kind of see a few guys pushing a little more. Like, I remember one lap, Dixon really pushed hard into turn 1. I was like, ooh, that took a little note of that. You could see some of the guys really pushing it on throttle, getting out of the long right-hander. So that's what I saw for about the first 20 laps. Unfortunately, honestly, couldn't watch much of the race. Just kind of how it goes there.
Yeah, that's the
It
curse
was
of.
packed from
Yeah,
what she said.
yeah. It looked pretty. It looked pretty full, for sure. I mean, Barber usually has a pretty good turnout.
Oh yeah, it was packed.
Yeah.
Museum helps. The museum being there also helps. I didn't actually. I knew about the museum, but me and my dad didn't actually know that it was there and it had that big of a damn bike collection.
Yeah. They have a insane collection there. It's
I may have to go there once.
absolutely. I think it's worth just a visit for the museum, but to catch the race there too. I mean, it's. I mean, let's talk about the race. I mean, no one's surprised.
That's what we're here for.
Just because, I mean, just that's what we're here for. I mean, I don't think anyone's surprised at who won the race. I don't think there's any surprises there. But Graham Rahal, second place finish, very nice.
Or Lungar got him at the end.
Oh yeah, my bad. Lundgaard got him at the end. Sorry, Rahal got podium is what I meant to say.
This isn't like a one-time thing of Ray Hall cars being good here. I remember, I was thinking before the weekend, I remember there was one race in particular where Ray Hall was really fast. I looked it up. I think it was 2019. They won with Takuma Sato. I think Graham Rahal was also running top 5 most of that race. I don't remember where he finished. But it's like, this is a track that Rahal Letterman knows very well. And so it's good to see them actually convert on the potential they had here.
Yeah.
Well, at least him being able to turn it on, because Mick and Foster didn't really have a great race at all. The bottom two. With Mick, I don't want to interrupt Rahal, so I'll get to that later. But with Rahal and on the broadcast, Jack, did you hear how Will was talking about that podium on the broadcast? Man, they had the entire story set up. That was a storybook type of podium. Wanting his kids to want to see him on the podium. And then it was not just oh yeah, we're fast enough for this race and then bam, podium. He had to fight Malukas, who had so much more push to pass.
Oh my god.
At the end of this race, I think at the end of the race, Rahal was at like 2 or 1 seconds, and Malukas still had 50. I mean, Lucas was flying at the end of the race.
I remember when Lundgaard and Rahal were fighting, and Malukas is lurking in the background, and they show how much push to pass that Malukas had, and it's like 100.
It's and 185 and 54.
And it's like I thought like Lundgaard had a ton, and then you look behind and it's like, holy shit, Malukas has so much more.
And the weird thing was that he wasn't really using it when those two were fighting, so I do think Malukas had himself a great race, but I think it could have been better if he took advantage of those two fighting and those two losing time, and he used to push to pass more. Maybe there was an issue because he finished with a lot. He finished with a lot of time
I don't
left.
know if there was enough fuel for him to.
That might have been it might have been the issue, but if you get up front over at Barber, especially in the right place, you can just place the car and stay ahead. And with that amount of time on push to pass, yeah, you'll be having a fuel save, but try and use the push to pass to get ahead far enough so that you don't really have to worry about fighting going into a corner, so you can save a bit of fuel. But at the end of the day, I'm not an IndyCar driver for now. So at the end of the day, it did get him a good result, but it didn't. But Ray Hall's defense at the end kept him on the podium spot.
Yeah. So good day for Ray Hall. Very good day for Lundgaard. However, his McLaren teammates had a very tough time this weekend.
Before we get to that, I do want to say Lundgaard, he was in the fight for the win before that last pit stop. That last pit stop really screwed him.
He got screwed over.
The rear right.
We knew who was going to win the race at that point.
And it's unfortunate because he had the pace. He was the fastest driver in the entire field at times, and that says a lot. So it really is unfortunate what happened to him in the pit stops, but amazing race for Lundgaard, unlike his teammates, which I think you can get on their ass for that.
Yeah, not a great race for Pato O'Ward. Finishes 17th, started 12th, and Siegel finishes 18th, started. He finished 18th, started 15th. So, just awful race.
Lost positions.
Yep, both lost positions. Just not a great effort from McLaren for how big this team is, especially Pato. I mean, you're having a decent year. Like, you haven't won a race, but you're getting good points. You're in the championship comp. You're there, and you just have this stinker. I mean, you can't be having that. Not at this point in the year. I mean, it's not. It's a piss poor effort. You gotta have more. I will give a shout out to Scott Dixon. He had a very Scott Dixon type race. I shouted out because it's like, okay, guy finished 7th, he started 13th. I mean, that's just Scott Dixon doing Scott Dixon shit.
That's your average 6-time champion stuff.
That's your average Scott Dixon race. So, good on him. Kyle Cookwood holds his position, started 5th, ends 5th. So, good for him. Good points haul.
Tied in the leadership in the championship, so that's really all that matters. You're still there. You didn't lose the lead.
Yep. Yeah. He is up by. Saying he's up by 2 points, so he's at 156. Palou is at 154.
Why were they? They were saying on the broadcast they were tied, but maybe that was wrong.
Probably. I don't know, but that's why I'm reading on the IndyCar site right now. 156, 154. Lundgaard is third in the championship with 121. Malukas behind 116, and Newgarden right behind him, his teammate at 113. So, still a lot of people still in the competition. Pato's in 6th with 106. So, again, not the greatest result, but again, there's room to make it up. You can have a good run at some of these races headed into Indy, and I think you can compete well and get some good results there.
I think the main thing for Pato this year is breaking his curse at the 500, because that does give double points, correct? If I'm remembering correctly, it gives more points than all the other races. I swear I heard that.
I know it normally is. I think they ditched it recently.
What the hell? Well, regardless, him winning that race, I think, is going to be the most important thing about his season, because just he's been cursed there so many damn years. But really, just staying in the fight going into the 500 is probably the most important thing for his championship hopes. I do want to touch up on, in terms of championship, I do want to touch up on some of the other cars, being Penske in general. Outside of Malukas, Newgarden top 10. It's a good race for him on road course. Good race for him on a road course, but you expect a lot
Yeah.
more from McLaughlin. Unfortunately, he just had a rough weekend. Crashed it in practice, had to use a spare car in qualifying, and then he had to use the rebuilt car in the race, which probably felt completely different than the car he crashed in practice. So just a rough weekend for McLaughlin, and not really the weekend Penske wanted coming off of a place like Phoenix, but that was a few races ago. But you hope more for them in this type of race, especially when guys like Pato are not having a good race, when guys like Kevin Simpson and you just hope more. You just hope for more out of them. Will Power did not qualify well at all. Still managed to get 12th place, so I'd say that's a pretty good recovery race out of him. One person I reluctantly have to shout out is Santino Ferrucci. He had a good result finally this weekend. Cool. Marcus Ericsson had a good race. Pretty solid weekend overall for Andretti. P5, E8, and P12, especially with how bad Power's qualifying was. Good points haul for Andretti. And Marcus Armstrong having a pretty good race for Meyershank in 6th place, even though he qualified 4th. But good race, good result. And yeah, so I think one last thing I want to touch up on here is really Mick Schumacher, where it's not coming to him right now in IndyCar. Weirdly in the place you would expect for him to be with everybody else early in the road courses, whereas it's completely flip-flop. He's, for some reason, actually pretty damn quick on an oval. So I don't know what's going on with Mick. I know RLL isn't front runner week in, week out, but you see your teammate Rahal get a podium, and it's like, hey man, I understand you're a rookie, but we brought you in here because you are super talented and you have shown how much talent you've had in the past, especially when he was at Alpine last year, these past few years in WEC. So
Yeah.
and with the comment of him saying like these are just more faster F2 cars, I'd hope for I heard that. I'd hope for some results in which you show that you're backing up your words that these are faster F2 cars. But if he's still adjusting some time, maybe the second half of the season we'll see a lot better Mick Schumacher, and a Mick Schumacher that was represented a lot more that in WEC last year.
Yep. And I agree completely. The sucky part for him, though, is that even if ovals are his strong suit, which they very well will be, we don't see a whole lot of ovals in the first part of the season. We see a lot more ovals in that second part of the season. So, like, the next 2 races we have are Long Beach, and then we have the road course at Indy. And then we have Indy 500, which, again, you might...
Big one,
the big one, obviously. And then you go to St. Louis, then you have the couple Milwaukee Mile races, like, so the over racing is going to be like far in between. You got to learn how to make it on these road courses too if you want to be competitive. And yeah, maybe being a rookie, adjusting to a new car, maybe we can chalk it up to that. It's still only 4 races. But if you're banking on ovals to be your strong suit, you can't really be doing that. There's just not that many.
Yeah, touching up on a few things. Mentioning Mick Schumacher, I do always love to look at that top 10 in point standings and see some people he raced against that F2 season he won. Hello, Marcus Armstrong. Hello, Christian Lundgaard. You were talking about Justin Newgarden at this track. He is actually I think it's 3-time winner here. When Penske was probably the best team in the series. Well, not probably, they just were.
They were, yeah.
Yeah, this was a really good track for him. And then around 2022, it just kind of fell off really hard at these normal road courses, I think.
Is it
And
is it pace wise, or is it really just Penske falling off a cliff comparative to late 2010s, or just a mix of both?
because like McLaughlin, I think won this race not too long ago, or was at least running up front. So it's probably just a mix of both. I really hope, touching back to Marcus Armstrong. Look, I like Kiffin Simpson. He hasn't got it done. Chip Ganassi equipment. I think Marcus Armstrong is someone that makes a lot of sense to take over that 8 car potentially next year.
I'd say that'd be pretty hard to do because Andretti really does love Ericsson or Armstrong. Oh wait, no! Oh my gosh, I freaked. My fault.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, Ericsson. And then you was like Marcus, and I'm like, wait a minute, Ericsson.
There's,
Oh,
a, lot
shit,
of, there's a lot of
Armstrong.
Marcuses. There's a lot of
My
Marcuses in
fault.
this series.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I
also,
can definitely agree with you there.
I think it's also important to remember Will Power. His qualifying, not necessarily on him why he was back there. I believe it was a brake issue going into the hairpin. That's why he started back there. Some other things I want to remember during the race. I was really shocked at how bad the reds were, specifically on Malukas' car. Those red tires just seemed really bad on Malukas early on. So I'm not shocked that he ended up falling off the podium, but I think it's good he still held on for 4th and still had a chance at that podium.
Yeah, I thought the teams were shocked how bad the Reds actually were, because I thought they were going to be expecting to run on those Reds way longer than what they did, and I think that's why the race kind of ended up in the way it did, and not just like another Noah's Ark situation. Is, hey, these Reds degrade way faster. We have to switch up the strategy, and some teams got it right, some teams got it wrong.
There was one guy who called it. Rossi called it before the race.
You did.
Got P11.
You did.
Got himself to 19 points.
Yep. Some good points, Hull. I do want to touch on this. Okay. Were you ready for your guys' favorite IndyCar segment? The Noah Siegel Hate Club. Okay?
Oh my god. We're not
Oh,
not calling it the Siegel Hate Club.
The Nolan Siegel Hate Club. Okay.
I don't hate Nolan Siegel.
I don't either.
Look,
I don't either.
Look, when he does the full transition to sports cars, do not be surprised if he starts winning titles.
Okay.
First, he is very fast in sports cars.
I want to name a few people that are above points
oh no.
than Nolan Siegel. Okay. I'm just gonna list them off. Okay. You got. Feel free to comment on them. Okay. Louis Foster.
I'd say that's a somewhat normal name there.
Okay. Colette is faster. He has 51 points.
I was hoping you would try the first name.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
It's Cal. It's not Cal. Colette. Chow.
Now, or Kyle and Kyle.
Yeah.
Like more.
Kyle
Oh.
Colette. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Roman Grosjean has more points than he does. And look, Grosjean
but
has kind of run good, right? Dennis Hauger. Dennis Hauger. The rookie.
Super impressive rookie year, by the way. I'm
Has more
very
points than
impressed
he
by
does.
him.
Has more points than him. Okay?
I swear, if you say this name, I'm gonna be very annoyed. If you say a certain name,
VK.
oh my gosh! Look, man, when he gets himself into a fucking McLaren or into
Okay.
one of the Chip Ganassi cars, it's over.
Okay, I get it.
Okay.
I get
We
it.
know VK is
Okay.
good. All right.
I know. I'm just saying it. There's one more name I want to mention. Now he's not ahead of him in points, but how is Stingray Robb 3 points behind you? And this is not. I love Stingray Robb.
Best name in the grid.
Best name, got this bunch of swagger, but holy crap, dude. You need to get your shit together, Nolan. I'm telling you. You need to get it together.
Funny. It's going to be so funny when we do the post Indianapolis 500 and look at the standings at that, and then Ryan Hunter-Reay, Takuma Sato, and Hilo Castroneves are all ahead of him.
Ed Carpenter will be ahead of him. Ed Carpenter will be ahead of him on points. Think about that.
Double. So
that would be so funny, though. Come on, that would be so funny.
We're going to also ignore the name of the guy who's in last place in the standings for now. We're going to ignore him.
Sure. Let's do that.
Said enough about him.
We said enough already. Again, so your third, when it comes to full-time IndyCar
racing,
you're third to last. This is, guys, and the best team in my opinion, the best team.
This overall team, yeah, I could agree with that.
I mean,
but where would they be if he was not in the third car? They'd be damn sure be ahead of.
I think there'd probably be top 15 minimum.
I think
damn sure be ahead of Chip Ganassi in terms of points. But then again, they don't use freaking team championship, which is weird. But I understand because it's multi-car. You have differences in car numbers.
Sure.
Realistically, I think McLaren, they fight with Andretti for third best. I think it's
for third best.
Say Chip, Penske, Andretti, and then McLaren.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can make a point there. I mean, I don't know how good this Chip car is, though, because we know it's good because you have a guy, you're winning races, but how good is it actually, and how much of it is actually the wizard behind the wheel?
To the both of them. So I do say I can say that.
But I get your point.
I will say Dixon's qualifying results might be the indicator to what you're saying, because he really hasn't been a very good qualifier this year.
I don't think there's a team that execute well. Look, I know Dixon had the tire fall off at St. Pete, but I think week in and week out, by far the best executing team when it comes to like strategy, pit stops.
100%. When it comes to strategy, there's no one better than Chip, and they execute it. They get in, they get out, done dusted.
And pit
crew is no mistakes, and that's why he's been winning races.
Now,
well, and they don't make mistakes.
Is he necessarily in the best car? Can we just outright say he has the best car, or would we be giving that to who? Or is it really? Because I understand it's a spec series, but it's not really a spec series. Yeah. It's like the most non-spec series of spec series. Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah.
I mean, like, every team has their strengths and weaknesses, right? I think Chip is definitely these normal road courses. You look at, like, an Ed Carpenter Racing, like, they love the ovals.
Yeah.
That's what they're best at. You look at Andretti, and it's the street courses, right? Like, each team kind of has, like, their own strengths and weaknesses. I think when you put it all together, I think Chip Ganassi Racing is probably the best overall.
Sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Sure. They're the best team.
Sure. Yeah. I'm just saying, I'm expecting a lot more. Just, and I get it. The measuring stick is Christian Lundgaard and Pato O'Ward. But, dude, gotta figure it out. If you're gonna be successful,
with
if you gotta be successful, you gotta figure it out.
and with the lawsuit over, because a lot of people are like, well, he's really only on the team because they need money for this lawsuit. With that over, this is your last chance to prove that they brought you in because they thought you were the guy instead of they needed money. So he really does need to get it together. Otherwise, Linus Lundqvist, like I said last time, I was right, is taking that car, which, in my opinion, should have happened earlier. But we're not going to talk about that.
I want to talk about another thing at my trip to Barber before we move on. I did get to see a few drivers when I went to the garage. Saw like some Grosjeans. I believe I saw Hauger. Saw Scotty Mack. But there was one guy I really want to talk about right here because I thought it was really cool what he did. I saw Alex Palou while he was walking to the grid before the race, and bro was just getting mobbed by people. There were so many people around him. I felt bad, but he's like he was just standing there. He was signing autographs for everyone. He was getting pictures with everyone, and like not all drivers do that. And I really want to give props to him for that, just because like he just seems like such a good dude.
Yeah, just an upstart, great guy. For everything he does, yeah.
It's like, you hear everything about him with like, oh, great racer, obviously. Like, we can all look at that and see that. But it's not really until you can actually be there and actually see that you see like, oh yeah, this Palou dude, he seems like a very great guy. I want to give him props for that.
Love it.
Love it. I'll agree on that. So moving on to what was a race of all time.
Oh my god.
Over at Japan and F1. I tried my hardest from laughing, but you guys are making this fuck off. Okay. So here's the thing. I will say this. Was it horrible? Somewhat. Was it the absolute worst? No. It wasn't the absolute worst. There were some battles, but as we've said multiple times, they do just feel gimmicky. And they were gimmicky, especially when you're coming out of 130R. It's a full commit. It should be a full commit corner. It's a mid-speed corner now with these cars, with these power units. And before we get into all of that, I do want to point out that first, before we get to the good news, everyone knows what happened with Kimi Antonelli on his pole lap on board. And why, for the first time in the history of F1, we didn't get a full onboard of a pole lap. Yes. Technical equipment malpractice at a very specific time in the circuit where everybody's calling you out. And you want to know the funny thing is, we probably would not even be talking about that if they didn't do that. It's like, okay, we knew they were going to super clip in the 130R, but when you do that, it's like, oh yeah, we're now just going to make it worse for you guys in terms of something we already knew, but you want to make it worse, we're going to make it worse. I feel like that was pretty stupid. But yeah, now to what hopefully can become good news is that it seems like the FIA has finally started to admit they were wrong about these power units. This was not what they were expecting at all. Main thing, I don't think they realized they were this far behind in terms of battery technology. It's not there yet for this amount of power that they're trying to deploy onto these cars. So as me and you, Jack, as we've said multiple times, I'd say if we're going to keep the hybrid systems, which I have no issue with, they've produced great racing. Just bring back more power from the ICE. That's really the simplest solution. Or as in my dream scenario, to something I think we should have done. I think we should have done instead of hybrids, is develop renewable fuels. Just further into that development, because one, we should have been developing that far more before any of us were born. That's just a fact. If we want to continue racing the way that we do, that's really the only way as of it stands right now. Like, there's no other options if you want to keep these really loud, amazing sounding cars. So maybe I do think we're getting to a point in renewable fuel that we can maybe do a switch from the hybrid to take out the hybrid and go fully into renewable fuel. Obviously, this change is not happening in this regulation. What we're hoping for in this is something I hope for maybe the next engine rule set. For this specific regulation set, I do hope that they do back down in terms of the amount of power, the power split between the ICE and the batteries. But to get into the race, Kimi Antonelli, once again, fucking dominant. Even with all the issues with these cars that we have with not necessarily the cars, just the power units, Kimi Antonelli is showing why Toto brought him in as an 18-year-old. Back-to-back wins as a 19-year-old, the first teenager in F1 history to lead the championship. He is both the youngest and second youngest driver to score pole. He is the second and third youngest driver to win a race. Now he's the youngest driver to ever lead a championship. And look, we can say, okay, he got lucky with the safety car. And that kind of screwed Russell. It very much screwed Russell. But at the end of the day, he pulled a 13-second gap on Piastri by the end of the race. I don't think he was going to lose to Russell. I think Antonelli was the faster driver. I think he was the deserving winner of this race because he was just the best driver this weekend. Even though they balked the start again. I think they're going to get that fixed at Miami, but yeah. Great race by Kimi Antonelli, and just another reason why Toto brought him into the Mercedes team when Lewis left, and why Toto trusted a guy younger than all of us in a top level car. Second person on the podium, he finally completed a lap. Not only that, he in every race that he's finished, podium. Only one race, but podium. Oscar Piastri has himself in a hell of a recovery race this weekend. Qualified P3, finishes second on the podium. This you really need it this weekend. If you're Oscar Piastri, especially if you're McLaren, you really need it this weekend as McLaren. P2 and P5. This is a hell of a haul by McLaren in terms of points, and just a comforting feeling going into this 1 month break. Last person on the podium, Charles Leclerc, held off George Russell, who was fighting tooth and nail to get that last step on the podium. Go try and take Piastri's P2 and maybe go chase after Antonelli, but no. Charles Leclerc played all the right games with George Russell. He's been annoying the shit out of him this season in terms of battery deployment and battery usage. He's managed to do all the right things to defend against Russell. And it just showed here today. Yes, today, because it's actually Sunday. It showed this weekend. It showed today. Charles Leclerc, if Ferrari can get that, if that engine upgrade that they have developing does come into this season early enough, and it does perform to what they believe it can be, if they keep this gap closed with the championship, don't be surprised if Charles Leclerc is all of a sudden a championship contender, and also don't be surprised that Lewis, who's back to form, can also fight for this title, because he's in fourth place, and he's only a few points off of Leclerc. So this could turn out to be a very interesting championship fight, especially with the adjustments that may come quite soon in terms of these power units. I don't know if it might happen this season or next season. Just know they are talking about it, and they have acknowledged, okay, we were wrong. Now, I talked a whole lot. Y'all's opinions, I do very much value them. That's why you're here.
So I, while on that little rant there, I did a little research, and I wanted to do this because I anticipate maybe something like this happening this year. So I want you guys to hear this. So the youngest ever driver to do a Grand Chelem or Grand Slam at a Formula One Grand Prix is Sebastian Vettel. He did it when he was almost 22 years old.
Was that the Toro Rosso win?
That was that no 2019 British Grand Prix.
09.
2009, 2009, not 19. Completely different. 2009 British Grand Prix. Okay. Sorry, I'm a monk. 2019 British Grand Prix. Youngest ever to do it, almost 22 years old. To be exact, he was 21 years and 353 days old. Okay? And the reason why I looked that up is because I don't think it's out of the realm that we see that record get smashed and gonna be untouchable for maybe ever. I don't think
trying to think.
So let every so pole position, right? Let it leads every lap as long as they get a good start off the line. Set the fastest lap. We know they can do that, and win the race because apparently
all they've done.
And all you have to do is if Kemi has the best car all week, he gets a good jump off the line,
runs away.
There you go. You have your Grand Slam, youngest ever. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up is I feel like that's going to happen sometime this year. And I'm not to temper your expectations, people, but this kid is the real deal.
And he's leading the championship. We don't got to temper nothing. He's the real deal. He's there. He's gonna do it.
This kid is the real deal.
Now, can he be the youngest champion? Time will tell.
Time will tell. I'm a little
gonna shatter that.
I'm a little less skeptical of that at this point. We're only 3 races. We're almost 3 races in. But if the regulations are going to stay for what they are this year, it's hard not to say Grand Slam for Kimi Antonelli, and nobody's going to touch that record ever again.
Also will get one, but it won't be for a record, but he will get one.
He probably will get one too. He probably will.
Very fun. It could end up being a very fun fight for the title between those two. I think it'll be. I think we could end up having Rosberg versus Hamilton type of fights, which I do hope for if we're going to get anything out of this year.
Only thing we'll be missing is the duel in the desert. That's the only thing we'll be missing.
Well,
I'm glad we're not doing it this year.
We can have a duel in the forest. We can have a duel at Spa. Let's do that.
Sure. Duel in the forest.
I'd rather have duel at Spa.
That's fair. Although I do really like Bahrain, but I just wanted to bring that up. A little bit about the race, though. I think you said it. The end is one of the races of all time. Kind of disappointed in myself for staying up for that, but there's some good racing. It's just a little bit. And
Ferraris.
You can taste how good these regs can be. You can taste them. It's right there. It's right there. It is right there. But now, unfortunately, we might have one of the greatest racers of all time retire in the middle of the year because that's how bad you fucking screwed it up.
Well, I was going to make a joke for that. I'm like, hey, after a race like that, yeah, this man got beat by Gasly on pure pace, on genuine pace. Pierre Gasly. Look, I think Gasly is one of those underrated drivers. I'm so happy he got that win at AlphaTauri at Monza.
Yep.
Pierre Gasly, when in Equal Machinery, in 2019, I made this joke. Pierre Gasly finally has. It took 7 years, but he finally has equal machinery to fight Verstappen, and he won. He's been better in qualifying all year, and then he's been pretty better in the races. He's also finished all of them. Yeah, Max going from having probably the best 5-year stretch of his life to still he's having a lot of fun right now in motorsports, but I don't think it's in Formula One as of this moment.
Would you say it's probably to cut? I hate to cut you off real quick. Would you probably say it's probably the best 5-year run by a driver like ever in Formula One?
There's one thing.
There are 3 people before that 4-year stretch in which I might have to say no, because we've had Lewis literally 2014 onwards.
Sure.
We had Vettel's ridiculous stretch from 2010 to 2013, and then Ferrari Michael Schumacher.
I would have said Ferrari Schumacher.
Now,
sure. Yeah.
One consistent with this between Lewis and Michael, they very clearly had the best car and the best team. For Vettel, on the other hand, not necessarily the best car in all 4 of those years. Like, yes, it was a front-running car. It was a top 3, top 2 car. It was nowhere near as dominant as the hybrid Mercedes or the early 2000s Ferraris. And those grids were fucking stacked.
Yep.
He was fighting a champion every corner. So, Verstappen, yes, it's one of the most dominant runs in the history of sports.
But
Obviously in this sport, but man, we've had some dominant ass runs. But it's up to, I think all 4 of them are basically there, because it's really, who do you want it to be the most dominant?
Yeah. I mean,
So that's really the question.
I say when you consider the car for 2 of those years
Was the best, and he was just
far
and away the best.
So I would say he had the best car for like that 3-year stretch. But I would say
22 and 23. Yes.
yeah. But like the year where he allegedly beat Lewis for the title, and then and then last year, absolutely did not have the best car. But it went down to the last race. It went and that's what I mean by like dominant. Well, yeah, one of them. But again, I mean, I see your guys' point, but it's just like you hate to see that kind of fall off after a run like that. And
sorry to cut you off. It's not
Go
even
ahead.
him. It's just car this year is not where they want it to be at. It's not close to where they wanted it to be. It's not really him, because Hajar he's right there, and he's right next to Verstappen in terms of pace. He's literally right there. It's just that's literally where the car is. If the car were with the Ferraris and the McLarens, it'd be with both of them would be with the Ferraris and the McLarens. This car it's a top 3, then can you even say they're the 4th best car? At times, at times, overall, at times you could say they're the 4th best car.
I think
as of this second, it might just be Pierre Gasly in that damn Alpine.
Okay, I think
he's been great.
I think the 4th best team,
Yes,
not car,
team.
but team. The 4th best team is Racing Bulls.
Oh, I was gonna say Red Bull. Team. Okay.
I don't know if I can agree with that one.
Yeah, no, I can't agree with that one, because I think Haas and Red Bull are better.
Okay.
You can put Audi. I think the midfield is really fun, because you can put Audi and Alpine into that conversation, even though nobody likes Alpine's team principal, who shouldn't even be in Formula One right now. And Flavo, however the fuck you pronounce it. But you can really say the midfield this year between Haas, Audi, Racing Bulls, Alpine, and freaking Red Bull for some fucking reason. It's close. It's really
It
close,
is
but
close.
I can't say the junior team's better than the main team, especially given
I have to.
that especially given that the best pit crew between the two are on the better team, the better drivers, better team principal.
Are we sure that they're the better drivers? Are we
Yes.
sure about that? I mean, I'm kidding.
Okay,
I'm messing with you guys. I'm messing with you guys. But
Max.
look, Lynn
Oh, I
Vlad
know,
is fast as fuck, and Liam is kind of come on to his own.
Liam's been great. He's been great for them this
See,
year. But
like,
when
I'm
when Max leaves during the summer break to go race at Le Mans in his fucking Mercedes, it is going to be whoever's in front in the championship gets that second Red Bull seat. So Lindblad, Lawson, all of a sudden you are in Twitch territory again.
You're not giving it. As much as I like Liam, you can't give it back to Liam. Give Lindblad a chance. Give him a shot. See what you can do.
So you just want Kimmy's record broken right after he sets it.
Exactly. I want records to be broken, baby.
After this break, if the Red Bull is just there after a month, and then by the summer break that car's there, and Verstappen still just says, "Fuck it, I'm out." And Vlad wins a race. Kimmy's gonna be so mad. Like, I do all this just for this fucker to get lucky to land a seat. Like, come on.
So, real quick, I want you guys to notice how much we're not talking about the race, because that's how shitty the race was.
I did say whatever we had to look. I did say whatever you have to say about F1 this weekend. That's what we're talking. I think this has been much more enjoyable than the race. Though I do think we do need to get into one topic in the race, and that is the Ollie Behrman crash.
Ooh.
And so since me and Jack have low-key been yapping off, Derek, I know you 100% have some very strong opinions on this.
So, yeah, I think this was an opportunity for the FIA to set a precedent that, hey, we know these regs are going to provide some dangerous situations. As drivers, we cannot allow that situation to be worse. I mean, I don't really think it would have affected Colapinto if he got a 5 or 10 second penalty.
No. In terms of race results, no.
It's like moving over. Like, I know that's a weird part of the track. It's a weird situation. That's like him moving over. It with the major closing speeds that these cars have, it's just really dangerous. I would argue we saw a calm wreck for what these kind of things can create. Like Mark Webber style crashes are a possibility this year.
Oh, I think it could be worse. Because imagine that same scenario. Aku,
yeah. I was about to say
a much faster Ricardo Verstappen crash. You don't want that. And these street courses where you're gonna have, imagine this at Miami.
Yeah.
Imagine this going into the freaking hairpin, the terrible Sector 3, beginning of Sector 3, that terrible. Imagine coming off of the back straight and you have that difference. There is nowhere near as much runoff comparative to the end straight of Baku. There is a lot of space at that going into turn 1, but going into there's nothing. Yeah. It's enough for a normal tame little lockup or something. At those speeds, especially with this closing speed difference, if he hits a tire, that could be horrid.
I'll throw another track out there, very tight, maybe not as high speeds, but Singapore,
Singapore could 100% be bad because it has long enough straights.
It has, and that's what I'm saying.
Runoff.
There's no runoff. You have a bunch of long straights. You have a bunch of former DRS.
I can imagine it going under the bridge.
A ton of awkward corners. This is it could 100% happen.
Going under the highway could be really bad.
Yeah,
if
100%.
just one wrong move, especially with how oversteery and twitchy these cars are. If you switch down a straight, you're losing it. It'd be a miracle to save it with those type of closing speeds. If you one twitch, it's over. And if you're not going into the wall on the straight, you're going to the wall at the end of the straight. You're hitting it very fast, and we're saying all this like, okay, these are really, really bad. But you said Japan was tame. Yeah, Japan, he had a 50 G impact. 50. You want to know what that was? That was freaking Verstappen after Lewis touched his rear end at freaking Silverstone in 2021.
Yeah.
That's the type of... And we all saw how bad that was and how quick that was. Imagine that being the tame of these type of situations. You don't want to, but at this point you really have to. And I think that incident is the reason why they're realizing the 50-50 split is an issue. Apart from qualifying, which is a whole nother beast. But that single incident, I think, will be catalyst to change. I do hope it's positive change. Otherwise, it's just typical Liberty Media. Well, typical management, given who owns the company, and MotoGP going to a street circuit next year. That doesn't sound smart.
No. I hate that decision too. By the way, I think that's despicable.
We're getting rid of Phillip Islands of all fucking tracks. That track is so great. It's not only is it a great racetrack, it's fucking beautiful. They just had the season opener for GT World Challenge Australia. Man, I love that track. It is so fast. It is so flowy. It flows so well. It is such a fun track. I hope to go there one day. It really does frustrate you how they're going about this, and how they're going about this, how they want to treat these regulations publicly, especially because you have the Kimi thing, you have Ollie, you have them trying to hide comments and replies and shit earlier in the year. It's a fucking nightmare.
I eagerly await. Max Verstappen versus Kyle Larson, 2027 Indy 500 Coke 600 double.
Look, if someone can convince him to race in, he said not even a few weeks ago.
Await.
A week ago, he said he ain't doing no damn Indianapolis. If someone convinces him before next year's race, I'm not doing anything, but I'm just metaphorically saying you're getting free shit.
Look, Larson, Verstappen, 2027 Indy 500, Coke 600, both due to double, will be the most highly anticipated matchup in racing history ever. For Americans, obviously.
You say that, and then it's Max Verstappen versus everyone at Le Mans, and also Max Verstappen versus everybody at the Nürburgring this year. Which some of the lineups that just got announced are super fun. Lauren Heinrich, Nico Moller, and Lawrence Van Thorn all in one car. Christopher Haas gets joined by Alexander Sims and Ben Green in that Share Sport Audi. It's gonna be stacked. It's gonna be fun.
It will be the John Cena versus The Rock type matchup, dude. Everyone is gonna be like, oh shit! Oh my god, this is happening. I think to go back to it real quick, I think Max is done. I think mid-season F1 retirement might not be that far-fetched, but I definitely do think that end of this year is
stretch. But at the end of the day, he doesn't have anything left to prove.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. Second all-time, four-time champion, in a row. Has the most wins in a single year. He has the second most wins all time. I think he's second in damn near everything outside of most wins in a season and most wins consecutively.
And he, again, allegedly beat the guy that has number one in all those at his peak. Well,
it was actually Vettel who held the consecutive win record.
Well, Well, we're not counting that one. But
yes, we are.
I'm kidding. Look, he also beat he competed against Vettel. Like, that's all he wanted. But, well, again, if you're going to enter his mind, you have 4 championships. You have one of the most dominant years for a driver ever in sports history, right? You had a unprecedented 4 or 5 year run of just shrewd dominance. What you beat your biggest rival on the grandest stage, right? What more is there for you to accomplish?
And
other to get to 7, there's nothing else.
100 wins and 7 championships. That's really it. And the podium, and 200 podiums.
Yeah,
It'd be him and Lewis alone, and Michael in championships. Really, and the cherry on top of this is that he's only 28.
Yep.
And he just had a kid, so he's thinking about having more time, free time. And, well, you can have more free time as a sports car driver, but you can also have the super packed schedule if you felt like it. But, like, at the end of the day, I completely understand what you're talking about, because he's getting offers. Let me tell you right now, he's 100% getting offers from everyone in terms of sports cars. I'm telling you right now, because BMW was just like straight up, hey, if you want to drive in the real version of our car, because they announced the Sim team, they're going to be driving a BMW for Verstappen Racing, and BMW is just like, hey, if you want to drive the real thing, just let us know, because we'll make it happen. It's not a we can, it's a we will make it that happen.
Every manufacturer. Every single
Ferrari.
manufacturer. Yeah.
Ferrari and WEC is trying to be like, hey, have you ever thought about being in red and winning at Le Mans? In red, I think you'd love that picture. I know Ford, given that they're building their hypercar, right, their LMDH car right now, and they're work with him. It's like, hey, it's cool that you're driving the Mercedes right now, all that. But imagine you in a Ford, in our brand new LMDH car next year, in WEC, and in our Mustang, in any of the GT series. And I know damn well Porsche's like, hey, Porsche. That's all they have to say. It's just like, we're Porsche. What more do you need?
Could Chip Ganassi Racing get rid of Simpson in that 3rd seat at Chip and put Verstappen in? Absolute cinema.
You're insane. You're insane. Do you want anybody else to fight for the title outside of him and Palou?
Absolute cinema.
I know it's not going to be easy. I know for a fact it's not going to be easy. He's not going to win every weekend. But
he's not going to win it. He's not going to win every
oval. Versus Palou? Do you just want him versus Palou for a title?
Look, I don't know if Verstappen and Palou have ever raced against each other. I don't think so.
Said they have.
They have? Okay. Well, I want to see it again.
Junior series? Probably in a junior Formula series.
Probably.
That was a while ago. I don't even think I was. I don't even know if I knew the series at that age.
I definitely
series
did not.
That would have been.
I definitely did not. But okay, let's go see you guys go head to head. Let's see the best driver outside of F1 go against one of the best F1 drivers of all time. Yeah, let's go head to head. Right? Hey, let's go. go run the Indy 5. Like, I know he said he doesn't want to do the Indy 500, but I know in the back of that guy's mind he wants to do the Triple Crown. I just know. I know in the back of his head he wants to do it, and he has the best chance to do so.
From a racing standpoint, no, it's not. That's not the issue. It's from a I don't want to be in a 230 mile per hour car with concrete barriers right beside me the entire time aspect. Because literally everyone in F1 who says no says the same thing. Y'all motherfuckers are insane to do that. Y'all are insane. It's the same thing Michael said. He was like, y'all, I don't need to. It's ironic how Michael said that, and now his son seemingly might actually be pretty quick there. So, yeah, I'm gonna throw actually one more thing into that. Imagine Toyota because he was recently testing Super GT car, not just a Super GT car, GT 500 car. Nissan with a Red Bull livery on it. He was out there testing. Now imagine. Right now, Nissan's not really in the best places. But you want to know who is in that series and is in the bestest places in motorsports? Toyota comes over and say, hey, we have a brand new GT3 car that's going to be all over the world next year. Hey, we have a hypercar that is won everywhere, everything, with anyone in it. And we have one of the best driver lineups. You did fine. If you want the best teammates in the world, we at Toyota have that. We also have a Super GT car, the GT 500 class. I have a feeling he really liked that car. Hey, we also have a Super Formula. We also do Super Formula. So, Max Verstappen at Toyota?
I don't know. I think he's
Max Verstappen in the TR010.
As much as I love to see it, I feel like he is going to be too big of a brand to put to one manufacturer. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's gonna be happy bouncing around from series to series, running whatever car he fucking wants because he can demand it. And yeah, like
he can afford it. No, he can afford it. He can just afford to have. I have a Mercedes and GT World Challenge and NLS. I could have a fucking Ferrari or a Porsche and GT Open or some shit. It's like he can just afford to have multiple cars in multiple series. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, my hypercar. I'll drive a Porsche and IMSA, and I'll drive a fucking Ferrari and WEC.
Can we get?
Oh my gosh, that'd be so fucking annoying if he did that.
Can we get Max at the Daytona 500? Is that too far fetched?
I don't.
He has said he doesn't want to do NASCAR, but I don't think I don't think Daytona 500 is off the board. But in full NASCAR season, I think it is off the board. But Daytona, I think that is on the board.
Run the Crown Jewels.
I think Daytona is on the board.
So
Bathurst 1000. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, that'll be fucking awesome.
At 12 hours and the 1000. That's what I want to see him in. I want to see him in the supercar.
That'd be great. But I do think Le Mans for sure is on the table. And
he's doing that.
He's doing it 100%. And look, again, I'm just telling you right now. If he wins at Le Mans, it's like dangling the carrot over his head. It's dangling the carrot. It's like you can be the second Triple Crown winner.
Yo, Palou, Herta, and Dixon are going to be egging him the fuck on if he joins Daytona next year. They're going to be like, hey, look, man, you won Le Mans. If he joins Daytona one of these years in IMSA and just like Dixon and Palou and Herta are all egging his ass on, like, hey, man. It's like you don't even got to do the full season. We got a car. You know damn well McLaren's going to have an extra car. You know damn well Andretti's going to have an extra car.
Penske
you know, Chip Ganassi could probably find a car.
Chip, Penske. Everybody's going to have everyone will have a car for him at Indy if he ever.
Yo, Meyer Shank will pull a car up the ass once Helios is done.
They don't give
When
a
Helios
fuck.
is done, they're just gonna put him in a car.
They will put 2 cars out there if they had to. Like, yeah, I can see him getting into it if he finds, like, kind of how, like, Larson kind of has, like, Mr. H to kind of, like, vouch for him on his behalf for, like, the Indy 500 to get that extra car in there. He doesn't need that. He doesn't need anybody. He's a big enough brand onto himself. Yeah.
Himself and literally everybody screaming at them like, "Get him in your car! No, get him in your car! Yeah. Hey, get him in your car!" And they're all like, "We know.
Look,
we're trying." Did you not see our Twitters?
Absolutely.
We on his comments.
It would be absolute cinema if it happened. But yeah.
Full-time Max Verstappen GT racing. I'm waiting for it. I want to see Max just randomly pop up at a GT Open race just for fuck. Max is gonna show up to GT World Challenge He's gonna show up for the Indy 8 hours at the end of the year. I hope, just for no reason whatsoever outside of I just had a free weekend. And I heard Pelosi doing this race.
WRC.
Oh my gosh, he said no to that too. God damn. That really cements him as like one of the best racing drivers of all time. Because the issue with motorsports is that you can be amazing in one discipline, but that doesn't necessarily make you the greatest racing driver. Like, you got to be able to do everything. You got to be able to go discipline to discipline to discipline. Yeah. The 2 disciplines that are really the hardest is Formula One, obviously, because just lack of seats and exclusivity and financial bullshit, all that. NASCAR, because unless you start from a young age or you're just one of those talents, it's really fucking hard to get to run up front against these guys who've been doing it since they were fucking 3 years old, just doing over racing all day. And then it's WRC, because in my opinion, rally drivers probably the most skilled drivers on the planet. What they do every time they hop in a car, unreal. Is unreal. And then that's not even talking about the danger aspect of driving 150 miles an hour next to trees while jumping on gravel and dirt and mud and snow. So yeah, I would love to see him in a WRC car, but I feel like the Indy 500, I feel like him doing the double Coke 400 and Indy 500 is more likely than seeing him in a WRC season.
Just to kind of close out on that final point, what you're saying with the
shit, final is right.
Yeah. Just to kind of close out that point, Juan Pablo Montoya competed in. I think he's a good litmus test for this. Okay, he competed in NASCAR full time. He competed in IndyCar, I also believe, full time. And he competed in Formula One all time, full time. Okay, he was pretty successful in IndyCar. Sure,
very champion.
Pretty fucking successful. Pretty fucking successful. And he had a very good run in Formula One for a couple years, right?
One of the better drivers to never actually win the title.
Correct.
Not the best. It's not the best because Sterling Moss exists. Sterling Moss is the best to never win a title.
Right? So had a pretty good run.
Okay, Derek.
But yeah.
I
Eric.
was going to say, when it came to Montoya, I would argue around that 2002, 2003, 4 stretch, at worst, he was probably the 3rd best driver.
Yeah.
If you want to argue so, then he's at worst, he was the 4th.
Sure. 100% agree. So he had a really good stretch, right? Good stretch in both series, right? Champion in one, very good in the other.
Multiple time race winner.
Yep, multiple time race winner. And then you got to talk about his NASCAR career. And it just never, like, good racer, but never, like, transcendental. Right?
Not in the ovals, but in the road courses, he
on the road courses,
fast.
he was fucking phenomenal, right? And that's a little bit to be expected. But ovals just kind of never really could put it together. Again, if we're talking about like people who are going to be a good litmus test for this, I don't think there's anyone better than him. Like
another one. There's actually another one, technically, because he's probably been the closest before a lot. He is the closest to become the second driver to complete the Triple Crown. Jacques Villeneuve. He is won in Monaco. He won the Indianapolis 500. Another guy who's won in Indianapolis. He's an F1 champion and an Indy champion. He never won Le Mans. He's come P2 multiple times. Which is so brutal. But he's also one of those guys who can go discipline to discipline and just be very fast. Though, to be fair, it is technically like 2, 3, actually, because endurance / GT, then you got open wheel, and then you got oval.
Yep.
And then you got like Kimi Räikkönen, who's done basically everything. He's lit because he's done NASCAR. I don't think he ever did IndyCar, but he's done NASCAR. He's done rally racing. He's done F1. Robert Kubica is another guy who's done a whole lot of things. Yeah, I do think, to your point, Max might be the best out of all of those guys.
And again, the only person to ever do it was Graham Hill. Only person ever to do it, to do the Triple Crown. Like, that was like over 50 years ago at this point.
It was I think he won the last race, 60s. That was the final thing he needed.
Yeah.
He won the final thing he needed in the 60s.
So, yeah, I mean, look, you can be the first guy
in this century.
And again, maybe only the second guy ever to do this.
For now.
That is, well, until someone takes up the reins, but that's how high the bar is. Go get that.
At myself.
Go get
I'm next up. Once I get my money up, I'm next up, motherfuckers. I'm not joking about that either. That's what I want to do. But I think we've run. Remember that thing how we were gonna say like, yeah, let's try to get these episodes down to an hour.
Oh my gosh.
We started late, so technically it's probably only been an hour and a half. So we're getting better. We're getting better. No, it has not been 3.
No, I'm saying there's 3 quick things I want to touch on from the film.
Okay. All right, last few things.
All right, firstly, I don't think anyone really noticed this, but Aston Martin finished a race.
Yay!
Cadillac finished a race on the lead lap.
With one car, but both cars finished.
And now this is kind of a more serious thing. I just want to point out where it's like, with Kimi versus George Russell, Australia, obviously George was better. China, I think you could really say, like, George kind of was struggling with the issues he had in qualifying. I think that kind of held him back.
Not the same car he had.
Race where Kimi's taken from him.
Yes.
I'm interested to see how George bounces back from that.
And it's like, it's not even that, oh, George was never the guy we thought. No. George is one of those talents. Like, it's not, he got stuck in Williams with a really bad Williams. Like, horrendously bad Williams, and then when he got the Mercedes, he got there in the freaking worst timing ever to show you're one of those guys. He still won races in that era, in that ground effect era. But now he has a chance to show, hey, I'm also one of those one of one talents that don't come around don't come around often. So it's going to be really fun because the guy next to him is another one of those talents that really shouldn't be coming around as often as they for some reason do. But he's also one of those ones in Kimi Antonelli. So yeah, I can really agree. I'm very excited to see what those two can do if we're going to have anything outside of Ferraris battling side by side every single weekend. It's going to be the duel between the arrows. So, if that is all, any other closing thoughts?
Nothing here.
No, well, I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank you two once again, and every single time we do this, for coming in here and talking racing. I want to thank everybody else for watching. If you liked it, please subscribe, please like, please comment. If you didn't like it, we're trying to figure it out, like the FIA is trying to figure out these power unit regulations. We will be taking suggestions on how to get rid of your dislike of this show. If that is all, I'd say goodbye to the two hat gang. I did not have a hat because I wanted to show my head, which I literally just got done before this episode started. And thank everybody for watching to the end of this quite long, unexpectedly long, but expectedly long show of Wheel to Wheel. And that is us. Out. See ya.